Mr. Gray, you are suing your wife and the mother of your daughter for a paternity test. You and your parents claim Mrs. Gray lied to you about her sexual past, and since discovering the truth about her, you now all fear the baby is not your biological daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Gray, you argue that your husband is destroying your marriage because he no longer trusts you. You claim that your in-laws' influence is causing your husband to deny his child. You also say your husband has not stepped up financially in the past.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Gray, what was your first impression of your daughter-in-law?
Well, considering the fact that the first time that she come to our home, that particular day, she and Tanner went to the bedroom and had unprotected sex.
Okay. How old were they when...
She was 14 and he was 15 years old.
Okay.
Okay,
Let me get my mouth off the ground.
Okay.
They went to his bedroom.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
had sex.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, continue.
Okay, within about 3 weeks, they called me into the bedroom. She explained to me that she was late on her period. I looked around for a few things to throw, and instead I went to the store and I got a pregnancy test, and I come back, tossed it at her, asked her if she knew how to use it, considering she was only 14 years old. And she said yes. She went to the bathroom, brought it back to me, and it was positive.
Well, Your Honor, considering the fact that during the heat of the moment, I had said something about, getting pregnant, and Tanner, he seemed like that he was agreeing with me, and during the heat of the moment, he got me pregnant. So, I mean...
So it really wasn't a good decision.
It was a mutual agreement.
A mutual agreement based upon irresponsibility and bad decision-making. You discovered emails with 6 other guys?
She admitted to me sleeping with 6 other guys.
How many other men did you see on the email?
The emails, there was quite a bit that she was just having sexual conversations with 2 to 4 weeks prior.
Sexual conversations?
Yes, about having sex with each other.
Oh!
And then when I demanded a DNA test, I demanded it. I set him down. I'm his mother. I had that right. He was underage. Okay? Her and her family did everything in the world to convince him that it would make him a bad person if he did not trust her enough to have that DNA test. So he did not have that DNA test against my wishes.
She looks at you and tells you, yeah, I slept with 6 other people.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this true, Ms. Gray?
Yes, Your Honor, it is. But also,
She's
considering
trying to
the
trap
fact...
my son. My son was the best one out of the ones in which she slept with.
Well, considering the fact...
We had a beautiful, nice 6-bedroom home, and she's seen that, and she took advantage of that.
So, in your opinion, she came over on that second date, and that Christmas tree was sparkling.
Absolutely.
Right? And the 6 bedrooms.
Those big presents are glistening.
Throw pillows on the beds, and she got in her mind, I'm going to make this long term.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
your account?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you're not just saying you want the child to be your son's because you put out so much money and time.
I love
You
her.
love.
I love Keely. I love Keely.
What's not to love?
Exactly.
Absolutely
Exactly.
beautiful.
She's precious, but I've had to hold my reserve with Keely because I have to know the truth out of all this stuff that's been going on. I want to know the truth.
So you feel like as a grandmother, you kind
Yes.
of been holding back. You love her?
I've had
you
to
provide
hold back.
for her?
I love her more than anything in the world. I love her to death.
And Mr. Gray, tell the court, what do you want from this situation?
I want the baby to be mine. I love Keely with all my heart. I've supported her since the day she was born, and I believe, whether or not she is mine or not, that Caitlin best know that I'm still the father, regardless of either situation.
Mr. Gray, you are her father.
You guys so much.
Now that's what I want to see. That is a wonderful example of what the blessing of a beautiful, innocent child can do for a family. Ms. Alston, you've come to court to prove to the defendant, Mr. Holmes, whom you first met at the age of 15, that you are his biological daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Holmes, you say there's no way she's your child, and today the DNA will prove your case. You say her biological father is David Alston, the man who is on her birth certificate and paid child support for her. So, Ms. Alston, tell us how you first found out the defendant might be your father.
Well, Mr. Alston and my mom were married. So as a child, it all started there. I grew up in a home with my mom with my 7 siblings. So one summer I was going outside to play, and my mom was outside talking to a guy. And when I walked up, he was like, tell her. And she looked at me and said, this is your uncle. This is your dad's brother. So I proceeded to meet the family, which is my younger brother, my grandmother, aunts and uncles, and they embraced me like if they knew me from day one. So I have always assumed that Mr. Alston was my dad because his name was on my birth certificate. But at 15, she told me that Mr. Holmes can be my dad. He's always been a father figure to me from day one, even with the doubt.
Mr. Holmes, you don't believe she's your biological child?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Why? Explain to the court.
Because Miss Alston's mother, back in the day, she was like fast. And because I met her at the school bus stop. She was in high school. And 2 days later, after I met her, I had sex with her. I called her again a couple days later, asked her to come back, and we had sex again. So it was kind of like a booty call.
So this is the man on your birth certificate. This is the man you were led to believe for 15 years was your biological father, and yet you have no relationship with him.
Yes.
This is the man at 15 your mother told you really is your biological father, and yet he doubts that you're his biological child, but his family accepts you
Yes.
as their family.
Yes.
I stand here today and I have to ask you, Miss Alston, what are you hoping for? Are you
I'm just hoping that, honestly, I'm hoping that Mr. Holmes is my dad.
You are?
Yes.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Holmes, you are not Miss Alston's father.
It's all right.
Mr. Alston, you are not Miss Alston's
Get
father.
Why she do that?
Lord have mercy.
You still my grandbaby.
Oh, my God.
Sit her down, man.
Oh, my God.
Sit down, Miss. Oh,
Wow.
This, oh, my God.
I'm so sorry, Miss Alston.
But you still got us, don't you?
That's the mother fault.
Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed.
Ms. McGee, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to your estranged husband, Mr. McGee, that he is in fact the father of your 4-year-old daughter, Serenity.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim your husband vanished 4 years ago after the birth of your child and has denied fathering your daughter and refuses to help you financially.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also suing for child-rearing expenses in the sum of $3,617.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McGee, you say you wanted to be a family, and that's why you married Ms. McGee, only to discover that after Serenity was born, your wife cheated on you and that you may not be the father of the child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Coley, thank you for joining us today.
How you doing?
You understand we are here discussing the paternity as it relates to Serenity. She said you all had sex within the window of conception, unprotected.
Yes, ma'am.
You agree to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe you're Serenity's biological father?
I say it's a slight chance that I am.
Slight.
I said it's a 1% chance.
Why 1%? How did you do that math?
Because I'm gonna tell you how I did that math. Because me and him was intimate more than me and him was.
But you understand that it is not about the quantity. It only takes one time, one encounter. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. McGee.
How you feel now? Bet you feel stupid now, don't you?
Ms. McGee.
You missed all them years.
Ms. McGee, let's be respectful. Because now we've determined that's your child's father.
You know what?
That's her father. You said it all along.
I know, and I was right. And this is, I want him and my mother, my own mother. Now, how you feel?
I feel that I owe you an apology.
Yep.
I will give you
Yep.
one.
But you
have to
can save
understand.
it. You can save it because I didn't have to suffer. She had to suffer.
Miss McGee, I can only imagine what it would feel like for you to hear your mother doubt you.
Hurt me.
Well, you can't confide in somebody and then tell them all your business and then be mad when they form their own opinion. No, she just formed her own opinion. I hope you two can work through this. But most importantly, there's this beautiful little girl. Mr. McGee, you're her biological father. You doubted that. 25% turned into 99.9. What you gonna do?
I have no alternative but to step up and to provide for my child, being her life as much as possible.
Miss Chappelle, you're a married woman who admits to having an affair, and now you say you have questions regarding your 5-month-old daughter's paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Standing next to you is your father, Mr. Wells, and he doesn't want you to get the results today.
Yes, Your Honor.
He claims when you were a young girl, you learned that he was not your biological father, and that news had a devastating impact on your family.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chappelle, you say you were elated when your wife told you she was pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then that joy turned to pain when she revealed that you may not be her baby's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit you'll be heartbroken if today's test results prove your wife's lover is in fact the child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did all of this begin?
Well, we met at a high school football game, and it was love at first sight. We got engaged 4 months later. We got married on Valentine's Day. We had a son together probably about a year later. I started getting bored with our sex life. I kept telling him and telling him and telling him. I said I wanted to change it.
No, it takes two people.
Well, if I tell you that we needed to change it, we needed to change it because I wasn't happy sexually.
No, I'm working 40 hours a week. I'm trying to provide for you and my son.
Try something new. I'd be like, well, let's go get some handcuffs. Let's try something new. Let's change positions.
It's not all about that.
He never wanted to do that.
No, it's not all about that. I'm working every day.
It's communication in a marriage. When your wife tells you she's not happy like that, you should want to listen to her.
Okay.
Because that's what made me go and do what I did. And I found somebody that gave me what I needed sexually. Do I regret it? Yes, I do. I do regret it every day, but I don't regret my daughter. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
And so you admit to having an affair?
Yes, I did. If she doesn't come out to be his, I'm really sorry. And I'm gonna have to live with that for the rest of my life. But I know she'll always have you as her daddy. And I'm hoping and praying that he comes out to be her dad, because I love him.
Mr. Chappelle, is there anything you'd like to say to your wife?
If she is mine, you know, we'll just go home, throw a big old party. But if she ain't mine, I don't know if we can let this marriage carry on.
Mr. Chappelle, you are not her biological father.
Why'd you do this for?
I'm so sorry. I really am.
I'm still gonna be there for her.
Yeah. That's exactly what this court wanted to hear. Ms. Taylor, you are here to prove to your ex, Mr. Thompson, that he is not your 18-year-old daughter's father. You say he's accusing you of disappearing and hiding your daughter, Ms. Turner, for 14 years. But you claim you kept her away because you are certain he is not her father. Mr. Thompson, you claim you've always known Ms. Turner was your child and searched for Ms. Turner for 14 years. You believe the child was this married man's child, but you say your daughter believes that Mr. Thompson is her biological father. Does she believe that because you told her?
Yes.
So now, if you told her he is her biological father, why not tell him where she is?
When I did get in contact with Mr. Thompson, which was in October of 2012 via Facebook, that's when he started to know where we were and where she was.
Did you ever tell the married man
I told both of them.
that he potentially could be the father?
I told both of them. I told both of them.
And what was his response?
He didn't want nothing to do with it.
Okay. Which is why you then just said to your daughter, Mr. Thompson is your biological father, because you knew that the married man didn't want anything to do with it.
Correct.
I made a memory book for Mr. Thompson.
So you made a book.
Yeah.
For Mr. Thompson. Oh, and beautiful pictures of you growing up. Wow, look at all of these pictures. You see them? So these are your graduation. When you look at these pictures, Mr. Thompson, what are you thinking?
That's my baby.
You believe it when you see this?
Yep, this is gonna be my baby.
Jerome, will you please hand this book to Mr. Thompson? She wanted you to be able to see the moments that you have missed. When it comes to 18-year-old Mylinda Turner, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Thompson, you are not her father. I'm so sorry. Miss Taylor, do you know where the man that you say would be the other possibility, do you know where he is?
Yes.
You do? Do you know how to get in touch with him?
I need to call my mother before I leave here today because I spoke with her last night, and as weird as this is, I haven't seen him in years either. But my mother did last weekend when she was in Louisiana, and he gave her his phone number. So I'm gonna have to call her.
Oh, did you hear your mom?
Yeah, they always say, what you don't know won't hurt you. And
But listen, I've heard that saying, but you have no idea what's out there for you. It could be beautiful, and you're a strong girl. Ms. England, you say that you and Mr. Kaiser have been together for 6 years, have a 3-year-old son together, but claim he's now denying your 6-month-old son, Isaac, and you're here to prove that he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kaiser, you acknowledge one child with Ms. England, but say Isaac is not yours. You say that during your separation from Ms. England, she slept with another man, and you are 100% sure he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. England, why is Mr. Kaiser accepting one child but not the other?
We've been through everything. I've supported him, I've took care of him, I've turned him into the man he is. You know, I took him from ashy to classy, and he's not supportive at all of it, and he wants to say that it's not his.
I've always been classy.
No, that can be debated.
Okay. Mr. Kaiser, if baby Isaac is not your biological child, can you still work on the relationship? Or is it over?
No, Your Honor, it's over, Your Honor. It's over. I can't do it. I can't do it, Your Honor. It's over.
And
because I've already helped her raise her other child, and I've raised the child, and then it's gonna be a problem, Your Honor, because this might be the baby of the man who she actually cheated on me with. So how am I gonna raise his child?
I never cheated. I did not get.
But you had his phone number before you moved out.
But I did not
That's
have any
considered
kind
cheating.
of physical relation. You
That's
want to talk
considered
about
cheating.
cheating? Talk about what you did.
Listen, family. Listen.
I never slept with another woman.
Now I have to ask the question. If baby Isaac is your biological child, Mr. Kaiser, can you all move past all of this arguing over cheating? I mean, you all have been arguing for 25 minutes straight.
I don't want to cheat no more, y'all. I love this woman. You know what I'm saying?
It gets worse at the house.
Answer my question.
Can you repeat the question, y'all?
I know you didn't hear it. I don't know why we taking testimony on tongue-tied. You ain't tongue-tied today. Okay? Get a word in.
I want that to be my son, y'all. I do want it to be my son, but I just want to make sure it's my son.
When it comes to 6-month-old Isaac England, It has been determined by this court, Mr. Kaiser, you are not the father.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kaiser.
You sure?
Are
you
I'm
sure?
so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's gotta be a mistake, right? It's a mistake, right?
I am so sorry, but it is not a mistake. You are not baby Isaac's
But he
biological
can be his father. It doesn't matter if DNA or not. He can be that boy's father. Just because he has a daddy that don't care, why can't he be the daddy that does? We've been through hell and back. 6 years. We've been homeless together. We've had to struggle to get where we are now. I don't think it has to end because it's not his blood. Our other child he raises just fine.
I understand. We, in this courtroom, recognize that biology creates family, of course, but there are also families created through love. When you all came into this courtroom, you told me your relationship was on the line and you needed this answer.
But I'm not ready to let go of the relationship, Your Honor. I love this man. This is the longest relationship I've ever been in.
And that's for you two to figure out if you can work it out. Ms. England, I have to ask you, so do you know for certain that baby Isaac's father is this other
Yes, ma'am. I did not have intercourse with anybody else. I'm not a thought.
Does this man want to be in his life?
No, neither does the family of the man. The only people that help with this child is him and his family.
Mr. Kaiser, what would you like to say, sir?
I still want to be there for him, Your Honor.
I'm so sorry, baby.
Mr. Fritz, you state that over the last 30 years, you have searched to find your biological daughter, who you claim was taken from you as a child. However, just 4 months ago, this 3-decade search came to an end when you found Ms. Agee, whom you believe to be your daughter, on Facebook. You're now petitioning the court to prove that you are indeed her biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Ms. Agee, you say you know exactly who your biological father is and have come to court today to prove once and for all to Mr. Fritz that he is not your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fritz, your compassion towards Ms. Agee it's remarkable, it's refreshing, and I have to say, whether you are or you are not her biological father, I can see that this relationship means everything to you.
It does, Your Honor.
Do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
So the stakes, they're very high.
I really honestly do believe, and I gave us a lot of thought since I found you, I'm thinking that God knew I wasn't ready. God was there. God says, well, you know, you're still in this motorcycle club, and you're still doing this, that, and the other. There's no sense in God bringing you and me together because the only thing I'm going to do is hurt you. When I got out of the motorcycle club and I started getting more prayer in, God brought me to the Facebook page that found you.
Wow.
And it breaks my heart to see you over trying.
I'm just mad. I'm hurt. I'm mad and I'm hurt.
You could be mad at me all you want to, and I want you to be. I want you to get it all out of your system because when it's gone, then it's going to be filled with love.
Exactly.
It has been determined by this court.
I am her
Mr.
daddy.
Fritz, you are her father.
Yes!
That's what I'm talking about. I love you so much, baby. I'm so sorry.
You can't be that mean and not be my youngin'.
I love you so much, baby girl.
This is just so beautiful.
That's beautiful right there, man. You just made my whole life.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry. Oh, it's just too good, isn't it, Jerome? It's just too good.
Oh,
I don't even want to adjourn court. I just want to sit here and watch them hug.
Thank you, Jesus.
Absolutely.